Hey there, welcome back friends. Today we will try to understand the concept of servlet filters. Now friends, currently for example we log in into our application with correct username and password. In that case definitely we are able to visit this member area page, which is cool. But for example we try to copy this URL and now let us log out and refresh this page, and then if we again try to navigate to member area, the outcome would be we would be redirected to this login page. Now the reason why we are redirected to this login page is very simple. We have implemented a short and simple logic inside our member area.jsp file. Now these statements are working properly and everything is working properly, which is cool. But suppose there are like multiple more pages where we need to check the authentication, we need to check the sessions. Then adding this code for every page could be tedious, and for example we end up changing some logic in this particular piece of code, then we need to change the logic in every page. So that's a redundancy, and which is not good. Now the solution could be servlet filters, where we can filter out the request based on our custom rules. Now in here yet another example could be, in here we have this logic, so we are restricted and only the members can view this particular page. Now for example we have this yet another file by the name of members only, and we have added the case inside our servlet for member only. In this case what would be the outcome? If we try to navigate, if we try to visit the member only page, as there is no logic implemented for this page, definitely we can visit this page, which is not a good thing. Alright, so now let me quickly run this file and let me show you, and we are able to view this file without signing in, which is not cool. Now friends, what exactly is a filter? Filter is a Java file. So let us quickly create a Java file. So I will right click, navigate to new, and we will get this option of a filter. So let us click on it, and now we will give the Java package as org.steadyeasy.filter. Alright, name of the class would be member area filter. Alright, so this looks good to me. Let us click on finish. Now friends, here is a filter, and inside this filter the most important thing is this method do filter. And in here if we check, we have this call to do filter method, and in fact whenever we call in this do filter method, the request would be forwarded to the required and expected file. Let me format things a little. Alright, so if we want to continue, if the things are good, then we will simply call in this chain.doFilter method and our work would be done. And if we would like to restrict some request, then definitely we can do something else. Alright, now friends, in here if we check, we have this annotation by the name of a web filter, and in here we can provide the URL pattern. Now friends, in the older version of the application, this setting, this URL pattern was set via the web.xml file, and how to do that is something you can easily search on the web. Alright, now let's move forward. Now, what would be the URL pattern for this filter? Definitely this filter would be based on our servlet, which serves the request for member area. So in here, we will copy this URL pattern, which is the URL pattern for our servlet member area controller, and we will paste the URL pattern in here. So that's our first task. Now friends, our second task is to typecast the request and response object. Now if I show you the servlet real quick, then the servlets are based on HTTP servlet request and HTTP servlet response object, whereas if we check our filter, definitely these are based on servlet request and response. So we need to typecast a couple of things. Let us get rid of these auto-generated stub, and in here I will rename these two objects. So it would be like servlet request REQ and servlet response RES. And now in here we will create two objects, and it would be based on HTTP servlet response. The name of the object would be response. We will typecast based on our HTTP servlet response, and we will make use of res object, and our work is done. Likewise, let us also create the HTTP servlet request object. Name would be request. Let us typecast the request object as well. Here we go. So this looks good to me. Alright. Now friends, the logic is very simple. If our username attribute is not present, it's null, then we will redirect to our login page. And if the session is available, then we will proceed further. So in here, we will type in if request dot get session dot get attribute. The name of the attribute is username, as we know. Alright, and if this is equal to null, in this case, we will redirect the request to our login page. And I have already copied this statement. So here is the thing which we will do. We will redirect to the login page, and here is the else part, which is nothing but calling in this doFilter method. Alright, let me format things a little. Default scope of else is only one statement, so we can skip on the braces, but let us add it. Alright, so now things are good. Now finally, let us try to run this application. Here we go. Now let us try to log in. Password is love. Let us click on submit. Alright, so things are working properly. Let us copy this URL. Let us click on logout, and now if I directly navigate to our member area, then definitely we are getting redirected to login, which is cool because we already have a yet another logic in here as well. But let us try to check what happens if I try to load the member only URL. So in here, if I open up a member only URL, inside this file, we don't have any logic which will redirect. So let us see what happens. Here we go. So we got redirected to the login page. Amazing. In fact, if I get rid of this scriptlet again, we would be able to easily redirect things to an appropriate place. Now in here, there is one small little thing that we are initializing the user ID and session ID, and we are reading the information on the web page. So I will skip on removing this and implementing a logic where we are reading information. So it's for you. Simplify this logic and try to read the user name and session ID only, and remove the logic where we are redirecting, because that's optional now. And everything is working properly, isn't it? So this is cool. Let me recheck. Let us navigate to members only page. Perfect. We are getting redirected. Perfect. Alright, so this is it for today's video. And friends, there is a very important thing. We have organized this application, and we have taken quite some pain in order to organize this application. Now implementing these filters are so much easier when you organize your application. So this is the advantage of building a organized, well-planned application. So definitely plan your application before you build it. Alright, so that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.